You ever just bump into a company doing such cool stuff, you just gotta learn more?
Happens all the time. What's got your eye this time?
So, it's this company, ShadowBox Labs. They're knee-deep in AI, but we're not talking about your typical chatbot hype.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you mean. What are they up to?
They're tackling some seriously complex problems, real solutions here. And to help us break it all down, we've got our AI expert here. You always seem to know what's what in the AI world.
Well, I try to keep up. What do you want to know about ShadowBox Labs?
So they're an AI development and consultancy firm, is that right?
Yeah, that's the basic idea, but what sets them apart is their focus on what they call tailored AI strategies.
Tailored AI strategies. Sounds fancy.
It is, but in a good way. It means they don't believe in a one-size-fits-all approach to AI.
So no off-the-shelf AI solutions then. Everything is custom built.
Exactly. Every business has unique needs, unique problems. A successful AI solution needs to be designed with that in mind from the get-go.
So it's like you wouldn't use the same medication to treat every illness, right?
Perfect analogy. A tailored AI strategy is about understanding a company's goals, their data, their pain points. Only then can you start to see which AI tools, if any, are the right fit.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So they work closely with clients to figure out what they need before building anything.
Absolutely. It's a very collaborative process, almost like a partnership. And that's where Shadowbox's consultancy expertise is crucial. They help businesses cut through the AI hype and figure out what will actually move the needle for them.
Interesting. Now, looking at their materials, they've categorized the problems they tackle. Everything from, like, boosting operational efficiency, which I guess makes sense.
Sure, streamlining processes, automating tasks, AI's got a lot to offer there.
Right. But then they also mentioned something called environmental and sustainability solutions. And I'm like, what does AI have to do with something like
Oh,
sustainability?
that's a good one. It's amazing how diverse the applications of AI are these days. With sustainability, for example, imagine a company trying to optimize their entire supply chain.
Okay, to be more eco-friendly, reduce their carbon footprint, things like that.
Exactly. That's a massive undertaking, right? But AI can help analyze all sorts of factors. Transportation routes, material sourcing, even energy consumption patterns within factories. And that's just one example. They also mentioned complex data analysis, which, let's be honest, who isn't dealing with that these days?
Seriously, data overload is no joke.
No kidding. And for companies, it's even more intense. They're drowning in data, customer feedback, market trends, you name it.
Yeah.
But the challenge is making sense of it all.
Right, like how do you even begin to sift through all of that?
Well, Shadowbox develops AI algorithms that can actually do the sifting for you. They can go through all that unstructured data and pull out meaningful insights. It's pretty remarkable.
It's like having an AI team that can actually like read and understand all of that data for you, then give you a report with like actual insights.
Exactly. It's not just about finding a needle in a haystack, it's about connecting the dots.
Hmm.
Their AI can find patterns, correlations that people might miss.
And that leads to like what? Better products, happier customers, that sort of thing.
All of the above. Product development, customer service, you name it. It's about using those insights to make smarter decisions.
So much potential just sitting there in the data. Okay, I have to circle back to the environmental and sustainability solutions things. That one really got me thinking. What other examples come to mind?
Well, beyond supply chains, there's resource management. AI can be used to look at satellite images to monitor deforestation, track how much water we're using, even help predict natural disasters.
No way, really. So we're talking about using AI to like literally help save the planet.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
It's about giving us the tools to understand and manage our impact on the planet, but using data to make it happen.
It's amazing to think AI could be such a powerful tool for good. Okay, so we've covered the why, the problems Shadowbox is trying to solve, but how about the how? Building these custom AI solutions has got to be incredibly complex.
It is. You need a lot of expertise, for sure. But going back to their problem-first approach, that's really important.
So instead of getting caught up in all the AI buzz, they really focus on figuring out what the problem is first.
Yeah, exactly. Deeply understanding the challenge before even thinking about the AI.
Which makes sense. You have to know what you're trying to solve before you can build something to solve it.
Right, and that's where their collaborative approach really comes in. They work really closely with their clients, almost as partners through the whole process.
What does that actually look like in practice? Is it lots of meetings, brainstorming sessions, testing things out?
Yeah, it's very iterative. Defining the problem, figuring out what data they have, then figuring out which AI tools make the most sense.
And I'm guessing even when they build the AI solution, it's not like they just set it and forget it.
Not at all. ShadowBox provides ongoing support, analyzes the results, and makes changes if they need to.
So it's about making sure the AI is actually delivering what it's supposed to.
Exactly. It's a continuous partnership, not a one-time transaction.
Yeah.
I think that's so important for building trust, making sure AI is successful in the long run.
Makes sense to me. Like with any project, right? You need to be able to talk openly and work together to get through any challenges and get the results you want.
100%. It's not just about the technology itself, it's how you use it, who you work with.
And speaking of the tech, let's talk about the future because this is where things get seriously interesting. What's coming up in the AI world? ShadowBox mentioned something called multimodal AI. What is that?
It sounds very sci-fi, right? It's a fast-growing area of AI, though. Basically, it's about teaching AI to understand information from a bunch of different sources, just like people do naturally.
So instead of just text, it could be looking at images, listening to sounds, even sensory data, and like processing it all at the same time.
Exactly. Imagine an AI system that can analyze medical scans, lab results, even how a patient's tone of voice sounds during an appointment to give a more accurate diagnosis.
Wow, that's next level. Or how about AI assistants that can not only understand your words, but also your facial expressions, your emotions?
Exactly. And then they can give you a response that's more, I don't know, human and helpful.
That's wild. AI that can see the world like we do. That opens up so many possibilities.
It does. And it's not just about copying how we perceive things. It's about going beyond it. AI can analyze data on a scale and speed we can't even fathom, which could lead to incredible discoveries in healthcare, science, you name it.
Okay, that is seriously impressive. I have to admit, though, the more we talk about what AI can do, the more I think about the potential downsides, you know? Is there anything about all of this that kind of makes you nervous?
I get that, and it's definitely something we should talk about. But before we go down that road, how about we unpack a couple more of the AI trends that Shadowbox talk about, just to give us a more complete picture?
Yeah, good idea. Let's do it. So, we've got multimodal AI changing how AI sees the world. What else is Shadowbox excited about?
They're calling generative AI a game changer. AI that can actually create things.
Create. Like what?
Music, code, even articles. Generative AI can do it all.
Wait, you're saying AI can write an article now, not just analyze it, but actually write one?
Yeah, like imagine training an AI with a ton of articles, then ask it to write one about, say, a local sports game. It could probably do a pretty decent job.
That's kind of blowing my mind a little bit, and it makes you think about, like, what are the implications of that, you know?
Right. And it gets even more complicated when you start thinking about things like, what if the AI creates misinformation? Or if AI-generated art is used without anyone knowing?
It's exciting, but a little scary at the same time, right?
Totally. And it makes what Shadowbox calls AI for workplace productivity even more important. What if, instead of AI taking our jobs, it actually made us better at them?
Okay, yeah, that's a whole other way to look at it. So what would that look like, practically speaking?
Think about AI assistants that could manage your calendar, write emails, even analyze data and create a report for you. Then you're free to focus on the things that really need a human touch: strategy, creativity, that sort of thing.
But using AI as a tool to work smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I think that's where companies like Shadowbox can make a real impact, building AI that not only tackles big challenges, but also improves our day-to-day lives.
It really gets you thinking about what the future holds. Will everyone have an AI assistant? Will our jobs be completely different? Kind of exciting and a little intimidating at the same time.
For sure. But I think the important thing is to remember that AI is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used in good ways and not so good ways. It's up to all of us to make sure it's used responsibly.
That's a really good point. Well, we covered a lot today, from Shadowbox's approach to AI to the amazing potential problems of things like multimodal and generative AI.
It's a fascinating time to be talking about all of this.
It really is. So as we wrap up, what's the one thing you really want listeners to take away from all of this?
I think the most important thing is to be curious about AI, but informed curiosity. Don't be afraid to ask questions, consider different viewpoints, and really think critically about how this technology could impact our lives. Because one thing's for sure, AI is here to stay, and it's going to continue shaping the world in ways we can't even imagine yet.
So true. This was a great conversation. Really appreciate you joining me for this deep dive.
Anytime.
And for everyone listening, stay curious, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive into the most interesting parts of the world and the technology shaping our future.